Yes, people, it's Jacob on Z1 up top. Thought to myself, what a great idea to walk home instead of what I normally do and have a little chat to you guys about what's going on with Tottenham and looking forward to the weekend. As soon as I have that great idea, starts raining, doesn't it? That's just how the last fortnight's gone for me, but you know, we move. So before you do anything, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do everything like that. Like I say always, you're helping the channel grow, and I'm just trying to do my thing and get my opinions out there. And at some point I will get people on. I know I keep saying it, but you know, everybody who's watching this video, you know, life is a busy entity, and my life is always busy. If it ain't work, it's the kids. If it ain't that, I just want to sleep. So I'll be real with you. But yeah, so as you know, this video is labelled Only Fools in Tottenham. A lot of people probably say to me, why you got the fools in there? You know, Tottenham are playing well, ain't lost. Out of all the games, we've only drawn one. You know, the only blemish is we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Fulham. But the only thing I'll say about, you know, I want to start off with a little bit negative, is that, you know, in theory, we're not even a quarter away through the season, and everybody's going a bit mad. You know, I'm enjoying the football, don't get it twisted, man. It's like, you know, if I'm going to sit there and say that I'm being miserable or negative, that's a load of rubbish, because, you know, my mum would comment on this video and tell you straight how mad I went when we got the winner against Sheffield United. You know, that's Sheffield United, one of the favourites to be relegated. But not only was I gassed at the result, I was gassed at the way not only we were performing in that game, but in general, we're playing football the way it's supposed to be played. But you know, we're sort of, what are we in now? We're sort of 1/7, let's say, or 1/6 or whatever it is into the season. People talking about Tottenham title challenges, Tottenham, you know, the next best thing. But what I keep saying to people is, if you look at it on a broader scale, Tottenham have been the dinosaurs for the last 4 years. Our football's been that bad that we were in the latter stages of the Champions League against AC Milan, and we were still in the tie. All we needed was a goal. At half time I was asleep. But you know, so that's how bad it was. I've never, you know, as a Spurs fan, as a little boy growing into a man, I never fell asleep watching Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Because it never bored me. Tottenham was always a madness. There was always something going on. So we're either battering someone, or getting battered, or the game's end to end. But either way, it was entertaining. Everybody knows whether Tottenham are winning stuff or not, Tottenham will always be in an entertaining game. So for the last 4 years, that DNA was dashed in a bin. And like I say, Ange is doing a good job. But a lot of people are not realising that there's a lot of managers that could have come in and got us excited because it was that bad. You know what I mean? Mourinho, Ryan Mason, Nuno, Conte, dead football. Hated it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my friend this morning about the last North London derby that we won. We beat Arsenal 3-0. Now, if someone tells me, is that the best North London derby you've enjoyed? You know, victory or results or anything like that? No, it's not. But that's probably the biggest margin that I've seen. But the reason I say that is because realistically, we still counter-attacked at home. And the only reason why it got too comfortable was a man got sent off. Now, if someone tells me, name a North London derby where I was on the edge, you know, and I was going mad in my yard, it was probably under the Pochettino era, Martin Jol, those times. Because if we ever beat Arsenal, we beat them hands down, like an Arsenal fan would ring me and say, you know what, well played, like, you done well there, you smashed it, you know, you kept all the possession, you banged a couple of goals, Harry Kane was sick, Dele Alli was sick, Eriksen, all these guys, your defence was solid. You know, we beat them 3-0, and it didn't even come to my thinking about the most excited I was as a North London derby. You know what I mean? But then going back to what we've got now, I can't complain. You know what I mean? I can't complain about what we're doing, because if someone said to me at the beginning of the season, how many points we're going to be, what we're going to have on the board, I'd have been that miserable because of what's going on and the fact that you didn't expect Ange to do what he's doing over the last 6 games. You probably would have looked at Brentford and thought, yep, because we're on the telly on a Sunday, banter club. You know, Man United will probably draw that and get something from it. And then, you know, there was other fixtures like a Bournemouth away. I'd have been like, oh, even though we should win it, we'll probably end up losing or getting a draw. You know what I mean? I'd have probably said 6 or 7 points on the board after now. So for us to be on 13, I can't complain. However, I'm seeing a lot of Tottenham fans thinking that Ange has changed everything about the club in 6 games or whatever it is. It's like, come on, man. It's a long season and it's a long tenure. You know, we've all seen managers that have come in, started off brilliantly. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's the guy. Not too long after, sacked. So I remember when AVB come in. You know what I mean? We had guys like Sigurdsson, Bale, running the show, and all these guys. And everyone's talking about, oh, Tottenham are going to win the league. And then we ended up playing Arsenal, I think it was. Lost 2-0 at home. In and around the same time we're about to play them now. And then it just went downhill from there, and we didn't even qualify for top 4. You know what I mean? But AVB, when he came in, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, you know, leave some notes in the comments. But I remember AVB being in and around this point tally, and people talking about Tottenham can win the league. And it weren't just Tottenham fans, it was like pundits coming out. And I'm like, I'm not being funny. I'm not a pundit. I'm not somebody that's out there like saying that I know everything about football, but that's just stupid. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you look at Pep Guardiola, for instance. Perfect record at the minute. Do you think Pep Guardiola's indoors with his missus? Say that they've won the league? Of course not. Because it's like, it's hardly been hard. It's not even been a quarter of the season. Even though we all know that Man City are the strongest side, he ain't going to run around saying that he's achieved by winning these few games. He'll just be like, that's the start. So that's my foolish part towards the fan base. There's nothing too major, but then, you know, I'm seeing all over social media, it's like, Ange ball this, you know, players are the best. You know, all of a sudden we've got players that people were hoping would come good. They've had 4 or 5 good games, and all of a sudden they're world class. It's like, just relax, man. You know, the one thing I will say in terms of a positive is that when Ange's response to what do you call it, to the fact that Tottenham fans are going mad, that response was something that, 1, caught me off guard, and 2, I actually enjoyed. You know, a lot of managers would be very cautious and say, look, you know, don't get too carried away. It's only been this, and that's pretty much what I'm saying. But then Ange's like, you know what, just enjoy it. And because we've had such a bad time, it's like, as I say, you've got to find the balance. Because Ange's telling you to enjoy it, which I like, but there's too many fans of the club, too many pundits talking about a title challenge. Like, all you got to do is lose your next 3 games, and everyone's talking about how you're going to make top 4. And, you know, when I'm talking about the next 3 games, forget the 2 after that. I'll move on to the Big E. Now, this is the game that, even though you play the scumbags twice, this is the game I always look out for, because it's the one that has me tossing and turning in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Because you hope that you can go there and get the victory. But since they've had the Emirates, if you're going to include all competitions, I've seen us win there twice. Once when we played them in the Carabao Cup, we beat them 2-0 and we beat them quite convincingly. And the Kabul last minute winner, which I didn't watch because I was playing 11 aside, and you know, we ended up winning that. The one time I don't watch the North London derby to go and play football myself, we went, and then that's the last time I've seen us beat them in the Premier League. That's just how my luck is sometimes. But yeah, you know, like I always do, we'll talk about the opposition, even though I don't like to. We got to, you know. I'm not going to sit there and go too mad about Arsenal, but one thing I will do is respect what Arsenal have done. You know, if Arsenal were, let's say, Brentford, Bournemouth, you know, Fulham, one of these clubs that everybody is all right with, everybody would be lauding what these clubs have done. And what Arteta's done in bringing in players that people didn't really think would cut the mustard, and he's kind of said, nah, I want your Ramsdales, I want your Gabriels, do you know what I mean? I want your Trossards and all these people. You know what I mean? People that are like, you know, we all know that they're Premier League players, they're all good players, but you never thought that they would be integrated into a squad that would challenge for the title. And realistically, as much as we all hate to say it, they should have won it last season. But they come into this game now. You know, I've been doing my scouting. I've watched them against Everton, and they showed me one side of what they're capable of. They, you know, Arsenal of a few years ago would have lost that game against Everton. Everton would have dug in, the Corey would have scored a winner, and Arsenal would be the banter club. But then they've gone there, and Arteta's made the substitution, which was forced, but that substitution's won them the game. And that's the difference between challenging for trophies and challenging for, you know, if you're not challenging for trophies and challenging for a bigger progress within your club and you not getting to where your target's set. So, you know, he's done well, considering how much grief he had over a long period of time. You know, there's a lot of Arsenal fans calling for his head, and he's managed to gain their trust. So, rivalry aside, you've got to respect what he's done there. He's brought some players in, Declan Rice, quality player. People like Odegaard that were left in the dirt around Madrid, all of a sudden he's bearing the fruit. So you've got to respect him. And for me, regardless of what form, this game, if there's ever a game in British football where the form goes out the window, it's this one. I've seen Tottenham under Pochettino challenging for titles, or, you know, being the darling of British football, and Arsenal on the other side of North London, everybody thinking, oh, we want Wenger out, we want Wenger out. They've got these Mustafis, Socrates, David Luiz, all these players, man, and you're thinking, man, we're going to go to the Emirates and slap them up. Everybody's saying it. You'll have Tim Sherwood coming out. You'd even have Arsenal pundits like Ray Parlour on TalkSport. Oof. You know what, man, I think this might be the one where Tottenham beat us. You're waking up in the morning confident. You've had your morning breakfast, your Sunday roast. Let's go. Boop. 2-0 Arsenal. Confident 2-0 Arsenal as well. So Tottenham didn't turn up. You know what I mean? And there's times where Arsenal have been the main guys, you know, and they've been above us. You've had your Nasris, Fabregas, and all these guys in recent times. You know, I'm not going to go to the Omris and all that time, because those are the times where we always used to get pammed. But, you know, they've had the Nasris and the Shamaks gone 2-0 up, boom. We've turned up at the Emirates 1-3-2. You know, they've come to the lane and been beat a few times. They've come to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, same thing. know what I mean? So I've got to, you know, as much as I can't stand them, got to respect them. Do you know what I mean? It's the same energy for like teams like Man United and all these people. You know, these are big clubs that have been winning regularly ever since football existed. So I'm a realist when I say that Tottenham, I love the club to bits, but we ain't been that club. And when we were that club, I weren't born. Do you know what I mean? My dad and my mum were probably like 10 or something when Tottenham were doing bits. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, that's part of our history, but that weren't part of my history. I weren't there watching us win anything. I've seen us win 2 League Cups. So I'm not going to sit there and say we're a winning club. But, you know, when we go into this game, you know, people will think that I'm being biased because it's Tottenham and I'm from the southern part of the country. But I don't care what nobody says, yeah? When it comes to the football element of it and everything surrounding the game, the North London derby's the best. I don't know how many people I speak to that, you know, support United, Liverpool. You know, Gary Neville come out today and said, if there's ever a game that I look forward to in the Premier League calendar, it's the North London derby. You know, North London's a small place. I've been there, you know, enough times. You know, I spent a lot of time in London growing up and all that stuff before I moved to the Midlands. And I don't care what no one says, yeah? You know, Liverpool Man United is the biggest rivalry in terms of everything. You know, they've won trophies, the players that they've had. It's nuts when you look at Liverpool Man United. But that game always flatters to deceive. Arsenal Tottenham, no matter whether we're competing for top 4, not getting top 4, you know, there's times where Arsenal are challenging for the title with the Bergkamps and the Henrys, and we've got like Robbie Keane and Mido. But you know, it's always a sick game. So this is why, like, I can't lie, when it's a North London derby, I wish I supported Man United on Sunday. Can't lie. It's just it's tense, man. It's one of those ones, like, I know on Sunday I'll go to church, and normally when I go to church I just pray for, you know, my family, my friends, my work colleagues, all people within my circle. But you know full well you'll be you know, be on your hands and knees and quit, and you'll be like, yeah, God, on top of all that, yeah, sort us out. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know no matter who you are in life, your journey is set, yeah? But I know I'll be like, come on, God, man, like, I've been good, innit? Do you know what I mean? I've been a good boy, man. Like, don't worry about Christmas. Sort me out now. I'll have a lump of coal at Christmas as long as you make sure that we win this game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm a realist, you know. I've got a lot of friends and family members that support Arsenal. We've been talking through the week. I'm never confident in the away fixture. You know, I've always got this little bit of, you know, if you're a Spurs fan that knows, so yeah, it's like you've always got that little bit of like, what if, yeah? But then, like, you know, within 10 minutes, someone's, you know, Declan Rice scores, and you're like, yeah, well, what was the point of thinking that? But again, you know, it's going to be a wicked game. Both teams attack. Both teams want the possession. Both teams, for me, have got talent in the right positions. I think Arsenal might have a little bit more impetus in terms of attack, and it probably all across the pitch, because, you know, they've got players like Saliba, they've got Saka, who's putting up trees. Trossard's a player that I feel is very underrated. You know, Declan Rice as well. They got, you know, Partey, if he was in there, I'd be a little bit more worried, but he's injured. So, you know, you'd like to think that Arsenal have been in a title challenge last season. They brought in a lot of good players, and they want to build on that. Do you know what I mean? They ain't bringing in Declan Rice and Trossard and Timber and all these guys to maintain Champions League status. That's the bare minimum for them. You know what I mean? And they've built towards that. With us, you know, people that watch my videos, you already know that I was predicting, you know, we're going to finish 8th. And it ain't going to be great, but, you know, we might still finish 8th. But, you know, the football that we're playing, if we can maintain that, keep our players fit, and, you know, Ange can do, you know, work the small miracles, because, you know, Richarlison was somebody we thought was lost. I thought he was in, you know, in a camp trying to get his mental health sorted. A week later, he bangs a goal. Do you know what I mean? Kulusevski was being touted as somebody that we need to get rid of. The last 3 games has been very important. So it's going to be an interesting game, man. It's one of those games where I don't even think I want to have a beer, because I need to analyse everything and see what goes on here. But then it gets to the point where the North London derby is just mental, innit? So, yeah, if I'm going to say a prediction for this game, and it'll probably change by Sunday morning, to be fair. So when I post a video, you'll probably be like, this is what you said. But if I'm going to go with what I'm saying now, I'm going to go with... I'll probably go with a Desmond, but it'll be a Desmond where Arsenal probably deserved a lot more, because Arsenal at home are against us, mate. I swear, it's like they turn up. It's like Arsenal can lose 3 games on the bounce, but then they turn up against Tottenham at home, and they're Barcelona all of a sudden, you know. And they've had some dead players in the past, and who would just turn up and be that player. But I'm going to go with 2-2. If I'm going to go with my heart, because I don't like to say that Tottenham are going to lose, but if I go with my head, I can see a 2 or 3-1, because Ange is a manager that will shock me if he goes there and plays a sort of counter-attacking system. Like, you know, if we go through phases where Ange decides we're going to go into 2 blocks of 4 and maybe pick Arsenal off, he'll surprise me, because I feel that with the players that we've got, and we've had a week to train, I genuinely believe that if Ange actually does that, that would benefit us, because Arsenal are very good at keeping possession. They've got a lot of players that can do well, whether they go with Jesus or Nketiah up front. They can cause problems, you know. I look at people, you know, Arsenal fans I know don't like Nketiah, but the way that we push up, if you're chipping him over the top, and Nketiah's running onto it, we could have a little bit of a problem. There's so many variables in this game, you know. I just look at my team, I look at Tottenham, and I think, like, anything could happen. Romero could get sent off. Pedro Porro could go sleep against Trossard. Declan Rice could have it, you know. Declan Rice and Basuma, what a battle that is, you know. If it's them two at the crunch, what a battle that is. That's what things are. That's what things of beauty are made of, you know. That's a clash that you like to see. And for me, I said it to my friend at work, that whoever wins that battle, I generally think wins the game. You know, if Basuma's allowed to pick up the ball and just drift past, you know, drift past this man like he ain't there, right? Then he wins. Because, you know, you look at Arsenal in terms of, if Arsenal have got the ball, they're a good watch, you know, because they've got Vieira, they've got Odegaard. They've effectively got 2 number 10s in the number 8 positions. So if you allow them to have the ball, they're going to pick you off, because, you know, Basuma in there with Papasar, who's going to be another important player. Calm. Now, if it gets to the point where Basuma's got a lot of the ball, and he's allowed to just walk past Odegaard and walk past Vieira, and Declan Rice don't know what to do with him, that's where we win the game. But then it's fine margins. And if there's ever a game where there's fine margins, it's the North London derby. And I think across the country, that's why we love the game, you know. And if I'm honest, I wish that I could go sleep, wake up and find out what the result is. But then if we win, I wish I watched it. That's just how it goes. But yeah, it'll be an interesting watch. I'll be doing a video, you know, Sunday morning after church. You know what I mean? Shout out Jesus, the Lord above. I'll be doing a video, you know, not so much previewing it, but checking out the lineups and stuff. So I've only just come out, and I'll do a before, mid and an after, and then we'll have a catch up, because the North London derby is the biggest game to me. You know, I look out for that more than I do any other fixture. So yeah, that's me done, man. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you appreciate that I'm coming to you lot and getting soaked. And as I say, just like, share, subscribe, do everything you can to help my channel grow. Obviously, I need to put the effort in, like I alluded to earlier. But if you lot can keep following me, keep watching the videos, and showing that love. I proper appreciate it, man, because as I say, I'm just trying to do my thing and push forward. So yeah, I want to get indoors now, spend the evening with my kids and my mum, and I hope you have a blessed Thursday. See you lot on Sunday, man. Jacob on the one up top. Love.